Alright, so we're doing something a little different today. No live action intro, it's just going to be talking and speed paints. Today we're going to be talking about how to find your art style. Now, some people find this really daunting and it scares them. They're like, I don't know if I could do this. This just sounds really hard. But in actuality, finding your art style really isn't that difficult. Just get a piece of paper, open up your art program, whatever you use to draw. Don't pull up any references. Draw a face. Draw whatever you usually draw. If it's not a face, if it's like food or settings or something, just draw something that you usually draw. And look at it. That is essentially your art style. But there are better ways to figure it out and hone it. Some people, for example, purposefully curate their art style. So there's a way you do it subconsciously as well. Growing up, I watched a lot of Wildcrats and King of the Hill. You can't see as much King of the Hill influence as you used to be able to in my old art, but it was there. It was there once upon a time, and I literally stole the ears from Wildcrats and never gave them back. I've just slowly tweaked them over the years. So, growing up, there are influences that you'll subconsciously pick up on, like, oh, this artist is super cool. I also used to watch a lot of Drawing with Waffles. And she would always draw the, middle fingers. Like, the middle finger and the ring finger fused. Not, actually fused, but stylized it that way. And I thought it was super cool. So, that also got implemented and pulled into my art style. That's just the subconscious stuff. Now, some people, they look at a drawing and they're like, that's really cool. I'm gonna remember that. Or they'll see a TV show that they really like and they'll subconsciously start imitating the style. I used to really like Spider-Verse, and they have this really cool shading they do sometimes with the little dots. I don't remember what it's called. I want to say halftones. And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna borrow that. And I would do so much halftone shading, it's not even funny. And one day I was like, this looks stupid. I don't want to do it anymore. And pulled it back. And I know when Arcane got really popular, they have a really cool way of stylizing the way they do faces. And now everyone's doing that. Though it has worn off quite a bit. You can see it with some people still. And another thing with Spider-Verse, Miguel, he had these really defined cheekbones. So did the superhero from Ultraman Rising. He had a really defined face. And some artists, especially younger artists, are kind of allergic to drawing cheekbones and facial depth. And when those movies came out, you can see it really start to come through in people's art styles. Even mine. I finally learned cheekbones. Thank God above. My goodness. I'm finally learning facial planes, and y'all, how did I go so long? I've been drawing since I can remember and just now learned. I'm an adult. What happened? But those are some examples of ways that influences can help. Some people make a curated collection and they imitate the art of other people until it develops into its own style, which is really cool. I love when people do that. So that's one way to try and develop a very specific art style if there's stuff you like. Another way, which is kind of what I've been saying, but in a different font, do art studies. I'm not talking about, oh, look at this art, I'm gonna redraw it. No, I'm talking about look up references online, poses, whatever you love to draw, and redraw it. Don't think about it, and just kind of try to stylize it as you go. That will do wonders. The amount of times that has helped me out. And that's just something small that really helps to condense everything and really make it pop. Also, following art tutorials, those help so much. Speaking of influences on my own personal art style, there was this book I used to read all the time as a kid. I would check it out over and over again from our local library. And it was a how to draw comics book. It wasn't Marvel. It was those Sunday comic strips type things. And it had different body types and stylization, different motion blurs and stuff like that. Looking back, that really does show why there was so much intense shape language when I first started drawing. That was what I learned. Like, add shapes to your character design. Like, a triangle means they're unstable, but it's also like the most stable shape in construction. So you could do something crazy with that. Circles, they're well-rounded. Squares, they're stable. Just stuff like that. So, tutorials, those heavily influence you. Because it tells you how to draw something, and you're just going to be drawing it like that. All the kids back in my day watching those how to draw anime tutorials, and then draw an anime. And now everyone's low-key got anime eyes. There's lots and lots of various ways that you can go about that. And developing and finding specific routes to truly learn how you want to do something. Now, there is another niche of this. Let's say you're trying to do a project specifically. Depending on which project you're doing, you're going to change your art style up for it as well. Some people have a specific separate art style for their projects. So let's say if you're wanting to animate, boy, you finna have to simplify your characters. Or you can also let them be complex, but just know you're gonna be in a world of pain when you're on frame 39 out of 2000 and you're having to draw someone with like 10 arms. Definitely not speaking from experience of my last video. Like, you just have to have wisdom on what to put where and how much you want to simplify stuff. Comics, personally for me, depending on which way you're doing it, I feel like there can be more detail than with animation. For example, well, if it's a webtoon or like one of those weekly comics, some people do prefer to simplify theirs just because you're going to be drawing so much every week. But let's say you're trying to do like a graphic novel or just like a one-off comic that's not on a rigid schedule, you could put as much detail as you want. You can literally spend 13 years drawing your comic, figuring it out, and that's okay. It really just depends on what your motives are. Or for example, if you're an author and you're wanting to like illustrate your book yourself, figure out your limits. How much can you do? How much art do you want there to be in the book? And that'll really, really help you figure out how you want to do things. Beyond the subconscious, the conscious, and the wisdom aspects of everything, there's also one more bit I would like to talk about. This is the most important one. The one that matters the most in my heart. It's having fun. Don't make art a chore. Don't specifically curate an art style that you hate drawing. Or if you look down and realize I hate the way I'm drawing, change it. You have the power to change. You don't have to stay stagnant in a little bubble of, ew, I don't like this, but I have to do this because this is my hobby. This is what I've committed to. If you decide one day, let's say you draw anime. You decide one day, I hate anime. It's stupid. I want to draw like Beavis and Butthead. You can do that. People will judge you, but not me. I understand. My personal opinion, art is about making something you love. Or something that matters to you. Making art is this inherently human experience. And if it makes you unhappy and miserable and drains you, try doing it differently. There's so many ways to create and be human and express yourself. Go out and find that. Art might not even be something that you end up wanting to pursue. But if you're trying it and you hate it and you hate it and you hate it, look around. See if there's something else that speaks more to your heart. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. I know the world out there is scary right now, but just know there's someone out there rooting for you. Even though I don't know who you are, random citizen, in the words of Metro Man, I'm rooting for all of you guys. I hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantastic time. Or that this video could take your mind off of things for a bit. Have fun finding your art style! Also, if you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.